Hey everybody, welcome to Clergy with Corona, our Clergy in Quarantine, not getting coronavirus, right? It's already starting to get to me. I'm David Chumley. I am safe in place at my 1,700 square foot house in Fresno, California. And today I'm talking with Zack Totten.
Hi everybody.
And you're coming to us from Canyon Country, right? Is that where you guys live?
Yep.
And Zack and I have been friends since 1984. That's when we met, so I don't know if you liked me yet, but we were, I'll say that we...
How can I not like you? You're always a little obnoxious, but yes, I love you.
And we were college roommates, and we've been around since those early days. Actually, it's cool. We met at Life Bible College when we were both down there. Zack's a year ahead of me in school stuff. And then I just remembered this, Zack, as I was about to get on the computer with you. Remember when we were in college group together, and that one little season of time, we went into little small Bible studies, and you were the leader and I got to be the assistant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, things have changed now for sure. But yes, I do remember that. And do you remember who was the worship leader?
Was it Louis? No. Who was it with us?
Diane Carley.
That's right. That's right.
And she and I are still good friends. Our families are good friends. Yeah.
I remember one of our Bible study times when we were doing home visits, we went to Yvette's house and had breakfast together. Remember that? I don't remember that. Well, it was an interesting time because this young lady, when we got there, her family was kind of a lower economic thing. And I'll never forget, she comes out and says, hey, we just have 5 plates. So here's one, it just was enough for everybody.
Yeah.
They didn't have any more than that. Yeah, that was an interesting time. I don't even know the Bible study part, but
it's interesting how that stuck with you.
Oh yeah, man.
That's what you remember.
That was one of my first exposures, I think, to different socioeconomic level.
Right.
Right. It's interesting. Now, okay, that's going to segue a little bit into, I'm excited to talk to you because you've had a varied experience in church life. You've been a part of staff at some larger churches.
Yeah.
You grew up even during your youth time. You were actually here in Fresno, which I don't know if anybody...
I grew up in Fresno. I was born in Fresno, and I left there at about 18 to go to school down in LA.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So right now, the church we just planted, King's Cross Foursquare Church, I don't know if any of those folks know the Totten name, but there are some old Valley Christian Center connections, but that's where you came out of. Yeah, that's so cool.
It's a good start.
Yeah,
I love Valley. Valley was a great place.
Yeah.
To grow up.
Were you there in junior high? And so did you have a junior high pastor? I know you were there in high school and had Brad Davis.
Oh, I started there about the time I was 10. So junior high, high school, Brad Davis, Randy Freeman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wayne Pfizer was Mike Strong.
Yeah.
We were all workers in a group. And again, they impacted my young life. And my teenage years were a mess. I needed their stability and their level of headedness.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool to think of, because of your life and the way you're living stuff now, they have a part in that story.
Oh, totally. I've actually not really had lengthy conversation, but I reached out to Roger and Donna Whitlow and just thanked them because they have played a big part, even though we've been apart for almost 40 years.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that understanding of in ministry, when you get to impact somebody's life and just be in a relationship with them, that shows this big, wide, story that God does with people.
Right.
And you get a part of
the reality is there are moments that you get glimpses of it, but we don't know the impact until you look back after usually decades.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's why it's good to be an old guy.
So I'm hoping that I'll get some of that feedback from somebody.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, this has actually been an intervention, and we're asking all of Zack's friends to
help me. I'm sequestered in my home. I need some moral support.
That's what we need. Hey, one thing that was really on my mind that I would love for people that are just watch this, don't know you even, but to get to hear about, man, I think it's so cool in these last couple of years when you and your wife left this church, a larger church staff, but you had a call in your heart to be ministering in this little community of Ojai.
Right.
That's by you guys.
Wait.
Yeah.
Can you see that right there?
Okay, repping Ojai. And you really, I know all the reading and stuff you guys have been doing and the way that you feel God leading you in there. This understanding of planting the gospel instead of necessarily planning a church service or something like that. So I would just love to hear like some stories, or does something really come up to your mind, somebody you've run into that you get to be Jesus to them that you don't think would have worked in a traditional church setting?
You know what? I'm still looking for some of that fruit.
Yeah.
I left full-time ministry and went back into the trades. We knew each other in Bible college. I was working as an electrician, and I went back into that. And so for about 3 or 4 years now, I've been back in the trades, and I've made relationships that have been developed. Wait a minute, your internet connection is unstable. Okay, there.
Well, you just paused on me a second, but you're back in, and it didn't actually cut out any words, so you're good.
So I've gone back into the trades, and we really view ourselves as missionaries to Ojai.
Yeah.
And just trying to get to know people, and when I'm 55. Things that we've realized it's really hard is to start over in a new community, and that the process has taken a ton longer than what we thought it would take to really start over. And for us, a lot of ministry happens around the dining room table or the coffee table. And just build relationships. So when you go into a new community where you have no relationship, we just really feel like it's the right pace, but it's been slow.
Yeah. So. Well, dude, you're a trailblazer in terms of coronavirus ministry concepts. You didn't even know you were getting ready for it, and you're just blazing a trail. But think about it. That's pretty profound, Zach. I mean, every organized church right now is scrambling to help rediscover or to kind of reemphasize with their people that, church doesn't only happen inside the walls. And it's not that when you're out and around with your friends and family and neighbors that you're going to see people raising their hands to accept Jesus all the time. There's a lot more slow work of being Jesus in your areas. That's harder for those of us that are used to church. That's a lot harder for us to operate that way, right?
An unexpected fruit of this process, or maybe a weed, but I think a fruit is my whole paradigm of kind of how to be the church has radically changed. So, for me, the idea of missionary makes it very simple. We're trying to live with the people and look at every opportunity as provided by the Lord to meet people where they're at. So, on Thursday I was at a job, and there was a man there, and he's a Christian man. I could tell by the paraphernalia around his home, but he's in a lot of pain. And I just said, "Hey, can I pray with you?" And I don't feel like it's ministry. I feel like it's Christian life. And I don't feel like it's like, okay, let me be a pastor. No, let me just be a believer. And so I think that's where, that's what we do, man. We show up, and we're, as best we're able to, we're saying, God, help me see what you're doing in this environment and participate in that. And that's everybody. That's all of us. That's right. That's not because I have pastor on my Bible.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's so interesting because we've always said that even in churches, and in the back of our minds, we know that, but actually living it out has been a little bit harder when you have the systems in place that don't lend to it,
Yes. Yeah. Well, so, if your goal is to get people into some gathering, and I don't know if that's always a bad goal, but obviously that goal is having a hard time right now. You can't meet that goal at this, thank you, Corona. But if that's your goal, then you always got to get to that, or you feel like a failure. But if your goal is to be a friend, and then see what Jesus is doing in their life, and just come alongside and just do a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
It frees me up, but also, I mean, it does. I think there's good things that happen. It just doesn't happen like in these huge milestones that you would normally use as markers of success.
Yeah, that's right. But the amazing thing is, if more and more of us as believers, not just the people with pastor embossed on the Bible, right? But if more and more look at it exactly that way, think of the multiplied touch of God in this community.
Yes.
So yeah, it's almost counterintuitive to say, hey, I'm going to be living out stuff that doesn't look like there's going to be a ton of responses. But that frees all of us up to live that way. And then all of a sudden it's massive.
Oh, totally. And I am in conflict regularly against the paradigm of success that I have, that is ingrained, where the muscle memory is so strong for that, versus let me just show up. And again, I know it sounds cliche-ish, but simply be Jesus in that setting.
Yeah.
Wherever that setting is, or whatever time of day. And so, again, I'm in conflict. Like, am I being successful or am I wasting time?
Yeah.
And yet there's fruit already, even though it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
And, so I believe in it enough that in spite of the conflict, not to toss the method aside and go back. Does that make sense how I said that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Yeah. And I think, so yeah, like I said a minute ago, you're living out this coronavirus ministry model. And you got a head start on all the rest of us because you've been doing it for a couple of years. So that's pretty encouraging.
You know what's kind of fun? And by the way, I'm sorry I touched my face, but my hands are clean. Okay.
Well, just as long as you don't like touch. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So I have a good friend in Ojai, and Christian man, and he's like so excited at this because when their congregation stopped their public gatherings, he and his wife looked at each other and said, you know what, let's do home church. And so they've already, last week they had no more than 10 right, in their home, and they're doing it again this week. And he's like, he's very excited at the opportunity because you know what he's finding, and again, he's been in the community, so he's got more established relationships. We're still at that establishing relationship phase,
right.
But he's had non-believers want to come to his home church.
Cool.
Not because it's small and safe, and they're going to study Mark together.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's beautiful.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool thing, man.
It is so cool.
That's awesome. Well, I knew when I wanted to talk to you, I want people to meet you. I was excited about, I know how you guys have been living out your life for Jesus the last few years. So I knew that would be encouraging, but I guess I hadn't really thought of, man, I hope it really helps some people watching that might have felt stymied or stifled and almost like find yourself, I don't know how to live for God if I'm not in these patterns. So I hope that encourages them. It's a very, man, what a scriptural thing. Live out being Jesus, love on people. The stuff we think is little or inconsequential is totally used by the Spirit of God.
Yeah, I mean, can I share one more thing?
Yeah, please.
So because of old paradigms or muscle memories, again, the conflict comes up often for me. Like, am I doing all that I can be doing? Am I doing what I should be doing? I mean, that's a pretty rare. And the way that I stay, the way that there we go. Internet connection unstable there. Are you good now?
Good, you're back.
Okay, so the way that helps me is to say, Lord, today is a day that you've created, and I'm focusing on today, not where I should be tomorrow, but it's just today. And today we're dealing with Corona.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really it. We have no idea where this thing's going to go. We can all project. We have no idea. So what are the opportunities that arise today?
Right.
And just, and again, being present today and trying to,
that's enough.
Yeah, that's it. So if I can do that, I feel like that's success for me today.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool. Well, Dan, thanks for talking. We're, it's quick, kind of down and dirty, but I love that people will get to meet you or see you. I think some folks have an old connection through the church that might know you and are excited to see that you're still alive and doing good.
Barely. Sometimes I'm barely kicking, but
And I was just thinking, so back when I came to school when I was young and you were like a year ahead, dude, you're just the grown up. Like I always thought, oh man, I got to be like Zack when I grow up, when I get to be a serious man and, and grow. And then I think even all those times that we got to live in the house together and the fun that we had there in that time.
We had some crazy,
oh my gosh,
fun times.
Yeah, remember my bunny rabbit, the guard rabbit that we had?
Oh, totally. I totally remember the bunny rabbit.
That thing was a great rabbit. But anyways, man, I really appreciate, thanks for coming on and talking so quick like this too. But I just love you, dude. And I'm glad that other people will get to meet you and love you too.
Hey, David, thank you for including me in this. It's always fun and meaningful to hang out with you, dude.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pray for you and stuff going on, okay?
Okay.
Right on.